I think it's both, really. The Brink delves deeply into the world of politics, and I use real-world economic theory and real financial numbers to move the story forward. Beyond just being a thriller, though, I think that it's a relationship book. And you have these two people, Sydney and Danny, who are being chased from Mexico on up to Washington, D.C. by this ruthless killer. And they have to trust one another along the way. And not only is it not either one of these people's nature to trust, but these things keep on popping up to where that make them question each other's motives. And then there's also Danny's relationship with himself. You know, we saw the first story in the series, 5 Days in Dallas, where we got to know Danny and his inner strife and his struggles. So the book is really about that as well. But I just think that ultimately it's up for readers to decide what kind of book it is, and I think that they'll really enjoy it. I think the controversy in the Brink really lies in where fact meets fiction in the book. I started writing the book in 2004, well before the financial meltdown, but that certainly has come to be a big part of the book, and so the story has kind of evolved with that. And then on the politics side of things, you know, things have become so divisive and so toxic in the world of politics that I think that the Brink really showcases that level of toxicity that we really need to get beyond somehow. But I also think that great fiction showcases the problems with the status quo. You know, I think that a book like To Kill a Mockingbird, back when it was written, it showcased the horrors of racism. And 1984 sort of warned us against Big Brother. And even a thriller like The Da Vinci Code showed us, or taught us almost, that the search for religious truth really comes from inside. If somebody came up to me and after they turned that final page and said, hey, this book has really inspired me to question the status quo, then there's no better compliment that I could receive. Danny Kavanagh is an interesting character. He's this complex person, you know, he's this there's this duality to him almost. There's this dark side, and then there's this, he has this desire to do the right thing. You know, he became a police officer to help his fellow man, but there is this dark side, and we see that as soon as the Brink opens. It opens with him hiding out in Mexico. He's a Texas Ranger, but he's a fugitive. Hiding out from the law, and he's about to commit suicide in the same spot where his father did years ago. So there's this constant struggle inside of Danny, but I think that really not only makes for a lot of great drama, but it also makes him really relatable. I think that, you know, we all struggle almost on a daily basis with what we choose to do and what kind of drives us. You know, I think for the most part, we all want to do the right thing, but sometimes it's hard to do that. So Danny's it's been a lot of fun to kind of crawl inside his mind and to see not only what makes him tick, but to see where he's going to go next. Sydney Dumas, she is, you know, one of those characters that just jumps off the page. She's this beautiful, brilliant judge on the International Court of Justice. Before that, she was a professor, and she was brought up by professors, so her world is kind of deeply ingrained in academia. But then again, there's this kind of shroud of conspiracy that is wrapped around her world that she can't quite figure out. So I think that dichotomy really lends a lot to the character, and I think that readers will really enjoy reading about her. The research, yes, there was a lot of research, weeks, months, years of research that went to the Brink. But I think that research is one of those things that has to be done, and has to be done well in order to tell the full story. Fortunately, I lived in Washington, D.C. for a while. I grew up in Houston, Texas. And I've been to Mexico many times, and I've visited the border, so it was neat to kind of fuse all those memories together with the research that I did for all those settings. And then on as far as the politics and the economics part of the novel, my background is in politics and in government, so again, it was fun to kind of revisit all of that. And economics, it was just sitting down and kind of going over all the financial news, and there's a lot of it these days. But just kind of going over expert testimony and different books that financial experts have written, and kind of studying how all that works. So it's fascinating stuff, and research is one of my loves. And I just think it all came together to really provide a really crucial part of the book. What I'd like readers to take away from the book is that after they turn that final page, they say to themselves, I got what I paid for here. Thrillers should explode off that first page, really off that first sentence, and the momentum should be carried through to the last page. There should be a lot of action. There should be the twists and turns. There should be the drama between all the characters, and there should be just a slam bang ending. And if readers say, hey, this is, Mark promised all that and he delivered, then I've done my job. But I think again, there's a lot of talk about the future of books. People say that books are dead and the publishing industry is a dinosaur, and I think that couldn't be further from the truth. I think that with the explosion of the ebook readers and so many of the commercial successes that we've seen in the past few years, I think that that just goes to show that people have a great thirst for books, but they have to be good books. They have to be be books that can compel people to pick them up and to not put them down. There's so much competition for people's attention anymore that we as writers, especially thriller writers, need to put out great stories. And I think that people will have that feeling about The Brink. I think that it is just a fantastic story. It all really came together, and I just hope that people say after they again close that final page that they can't wait to pick up the next Mark Fadden novel.